Okay, welcome to our podcast. Hello, we are Sarah and I'm Cody. That's
He's
Sarah.
not Sarah.
Uh,
I'm Sarah.
we are fully stoked. Okay,
I am. I am fully stoked.
fully stoked. Our last name is Stokes, and I had a good buddy of mine that was like, "Hey, you should use your last name as part of the podcast. It'd be like Stoked."
Wait, it was actually his wife who said that. I just want to give her credit.
Oh, yeah, his wife mentioned it, and he mentioned it to
And
me.
her name is Sarah.
Yep.
So she's
And
awesome. Shout out, Sarah.
shout out to Andrew and Sarah. And so we changed our name because it was a cool idea, and we're
Oh, we should have Sarah on
Oh,
sometime.
yeah.
Is she an herbalist or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll find out fully, and we'll have her on the podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have guests on. We'll have lots of good guests on. Should we talk about that? And we can clip it too, or no?
Yeah. So I think we don't do this every podcast, but like we are blended family. We live in two separate cities, 2.5 hours apart from each other. We have two separate houses, and it's unique. That's to us anyway. We've never done this type of thing before, and it works. We make it work. I'm in food sales. I work for Cisco, and she works for a mortgage company called Coast to Coast, and she's a mortgage loan officer. So if you're needing a home loan, get into contact with Sarah, me for
all your restaurant
food
needs.
for your restaurant.
Well, equipment too. You don't just do food.
We do everything. Yeah, we sell everything. So anyway, that's not a plug. Well, yeah, I guess it was a plug. So anyway,
well, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
like why we're doing what we're doing. Anyway.
Yeah. That's actually the topic of our podcast today.
Right,
is why we are doing what we're doing.
And the reason that came up is because my bestie said something to me last night, and it kind of hurt my feelings. And I've been definitely obsessing on it all day.
And she's going to see this.
That's okay. I love her. Yeah,
absolutely.
We walked through it.
She's amazing. We love her.
We love you. Okay.
And Kevin.
Yes. And anyway, she was like, "What are you doing? Are you manic?" And I was like, not anything against anybody who actually does have that diagnosis. It's just, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to build my business, and this, just Google it, research it. This is how you do it. So I have a coach right now.
Yeah. I thought you were pointing at me.
You are. He really is. In many ways, he's a coach, but I have a different coach too. And she wanted me to do something new. She said, "What are you going to do between now and the next time we meet?" And I was like, "Well, I've already done so many new things." And she was like, "We need a new one." I was like, "Well, we have been talking about the podcast." And she was like, "Do it." And I was like, okay. So we did it. And it's really not as hard as we thought.
It just takes time. What time is it right now?
It is 6:23 p.m. on a Sunday.
On a Sunday night, and a lot of people are sitting on the couch watching TV,
mindlessly doing nothing. Not gaining insight into anything. Not gaining education or information.
And I've been there. There's a time and a place. Sometimes we do. We're like we're exhausted. We're done. Okay, let's watch some Netflix or whatever. But like the vast majority of our time, we try to fill it with educating ourselves, learning about something, reading books. Now we're doing podcasts, and she has a newsletter, and she's doing classes on Zoom for realtors and
home buyers,
and then
eventually just for the general public to do things like social media 101. But you're doing recipes, and he's got videos, a YouTube channel.
So yeah, growing that, doing, and there's a learning curve. I'm like every time I do one, set up the lights and the cameras and figure out like, okay, what's the best angle? Is that good lighting? And try to. It's just it's becoming part of the routine of what we're doing, and trying to grow our network and our careers, and building more of a social media following, and it's It's pretty cool.
It's working, actually.
It's pretty cool.
So I'm 47. I'm not
No,
27. I know it's shocking.
You look more like 27.
But my point is, this is the way that the world is right now. So, and it's free, essentially. I can do a lot of things. I mean, not everything is free. Obviously, this costs something, and there are minimal costs involved, but you can do the free version. I don't need to be Joe Rogan for 3.5 hours and have, somebody fantastic who worked for NASA on the show and has written 6 books. Like, I'm not there. I don't know that we ever want to be there. I'm just saying, just a simple podcast to talk about the things that we choose to talk about. And if somebody wants to listen to it, they can listen to it. If they don't, whatever.
Yeah. No worries.
So it has actually worked, though. My point is, we are seeing a huge increase in business because of this. And I think even your customers have commented that they've watched the podcast. We have things in the works for, there were a lot of people many people who suffered through Helene, and we've got people, my social media manager is going to come up, and one of my partners, she is an influencer. She's going to come up and work on doing some social media and maybe some podcasts with some various business owners.
So that's the next thing is we're going to go to a lot of restaurants in the Asheville and Charlotte area. We have, because we live in 2 separate cities, and spotlight a lot of folks that either did suffer loss from Helene, and some that didn't. I mean, everybody did because they were shut down because of the water situation. So everybody suffered loss of business, and it was significant. And the impact of that will be seen for for years. But we plan to spotlight those, do videos, and use the influence and try to push out that, hey, come to Asheville, visit these restaurants, come and explore the city. It's open fully. There's some, obviously River Arts District and Biltmore Village are devastated, but they're rebuilding. But there's a lot of Asheville that is open. So that's our hope, that we can get the word out there to the masses for people to come and support all these restaurants and businesses that need your help in a big way.
In the outlying areas too, not just Asheville.
Yeah, yes.
You've got lots of connections elsewhere
as
well. But a lot of the restaurant owners and businesses that you work with, they suffered even after Helene because many of the workers moved away, and they had to scramble and figure out what are we going to do to have people to come and work. So, it's been a long, and it's still in the process right now. But there's a lot of fallout from such a natural disaster. What? I'm not going conspiracy. I was just saying it's a natural disaster. So anyway, so that'll be coming. All of this, though, we're not doing this because we have so much time on our hands and we are just bored, right? I mean, to be completely transparent, and why would you not think that we would be completely transparent? Like, we have jobs, we have to make money, we have to pay the bills, we have to provide for our children, and we're kind people. We want to help the people that we work with too. We want to help others in many ways too. So that's why we're doing all of this.
Yeah.
Lots of social media. I know it's picked up. I think it's like, I can't remember, 8,000 plus in the past month or something. It's the increases like this. So you can see the analytics on Meta. I think it's called Meta. Analytics are pretty cool. And
numbers don't lie.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially free. It's just effort. You just spend your time. Now, time is money. We know that, but why not spend our downtime doing something that's going to benefit us and others?
Yeah.
And so just hustle, just do it. And it's not like we're like, I mean, I don't sit on the couch and watch TV anyway. I'd rather go to the gym. And he's going to the gym all the time now too. Don't do that. That's that sexy man.
Oh, sorry.
I like that sexy one.
Sorry, I'll edit that out.
I do like it when you do that though.
I know.
Okay, so that's why we're doing all this, and it's working.
Yeah. yeah, it's working, and the relationships that we are building and growing in my industry and in her industry, they last can last a lifetime, or maybe not full lifetime, but
Friendships with
they're
friendships.
yeah,
I'm building
friendships, yeah,
friendships with people that I
yeah,
work with.
yeah. I mean, I mean, my like closest people that are in my life are customers of mine, people that I've and that I deal with, that I've sold food to for years. They're like family,
Yeah.
and so anything that I can do to help them is to always top of mind. It doesn't have to benefit me financially, um, but same for the mortgage industry. You people that come back to you because they trust you. You gave them a good deal, you gave them a good rate, and you saw it through. And then they're like, oh, we're going to sell, and they find they might even say, hey, do you know a good realtor? And then she
Right.
recommends a good realtor that she trusts, that's going to look out for that client. And then they sell, and then they buy another house, and then they need
It's
another
a
mortgage.
relationship. It is a
Yeah,
relationship. And so
it's
it started in business, but ultimately, many of my business relationships have become friendships too.
yeah.
Why not?
Well, you do business with the people that you trust, and I say that all the time. The people that you like and trust, and so why not be a good person all the time? And so there's no question. It's not people that aren't good all the time, or maybe um, lie or cover stuff up. They're having to go, what did I say last time?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, just be honest. Always be a good person, and look out for your fellow brothers and sisters, and you can't go wrong. You really can't.
So let's talk about some of the people that we only got a couple of minutes left that will be coming on. Um, I think you don't have to say their names necessarily, but you can kind of explain
Well, yeah. I mean,
their role.
I've spoken recently with a good friend of mine. He also happens to be a customer. He's a very successful restaurateur. His name's Eric Sheffer. He's going to be coming on. We're going to do a short series with him um, on various topics. I'm pretty excited about that because he's led an incredibly interesting life. He's been very successful, and he's been in this town since, I believe, he moved here in 1994 from LA, and he has a beautiful family, beautiful wife and daughter. And so he's going to come on and just talk about some of his experiences, and how he's been successful, and other topics. And then who else? You're gonna have some folks on.
I mean, well, just from last night, we had our dinner club. So Corinne is a very successful, holistic. Is she a naturopath? Is that what they're called? She's a chiropractor, and she's written several books. She's got a podcast of her own. She's very successful, and I had no idea. She's just her daughter is.
I didn't know she had a podcast.
Yeah, she was talking about it last night.
Wow.
Her daughter is best friends with my daughter, and I was just trying to get him in an appointment one day. So I was like Googling her, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's written all these books. She's been all over the place. She's spoken all over the place. She's done Good Morning America, and she went to Hawaii, I think, or LA, or all of the above. I don't know. She did all kinds of things on their Good Morning shows. So he went to 2 different chiropractors and a medical doctor, and was unable to heal his back. He went to her one time, and it took about 24 hours, and he was
it was good.
perfect.
Bingo.
And she's fantastic.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But she's so busy, like she's not even trying to get business. I'm just trying to get her to come and talk to us to help us, right, with holistic medicine.
Yeah, she'll do probably some education and give us some stats and maybe some tips and tricks, and
Right.
yeah. So look forward to that. Those will be coming up in the near future. So.
And then we've got a Costco expert, Scott. He knows everything about Costco. He does, ins and outs. I think we all love some Costco.
Yeah.
We got the tallow today. Cody went and got tallow ghee. They got like a $20 huge thing, organic, grass fed.
Grass fed. Yeah, it's amazing.
Is it organic too? Or is it just grass fed?
I think it's organic. Yeah, it's organic grass fed. But you'll be able to see that on our Amazon store at some point, and you can purchase it. So stay tuned for that.
And who else? What?
Oh.
Take what?
Takeaways.
Oh, it's time. Takeaways. Stay tuned. And yeah, I mean, whatever you do in life, just be intentional, okay? Because we're being intentional about why we're doing what we're doing. Our friends might ask why, and we're telling them why. And we're sticking to it. It's stick-to-itiveness. It's grit.
It is.
You have to grind grit, okay? And
might not be, it's like getting up at 5 a.m. Man, you wake up and you're like, I could just lay here for another hour. Nobody would know. But I would know.
Yeah.
Myself. And so we get up and you do it, and you're grateful that you did. So
be intentional about what you're doing, because we are. And stay tuned, because we have some great guests coming on. Those were just 2 or 3. We've got a lot more lined up.
There's more.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us. If you're tuning in at evening, morning, and afternoon, messed that one up. That's okay. So
no, you did great, babe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're so encouraging. I love
you.
you.
You're encouraging.
I love
you.
Adios.
Hasta luego. Bye.